These, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, please.
So the first order of reorganization is the MAPC swap representative. Is there a nomination? Mr. Calagione said that he would take a nomination if someone wants to nominate
Yeah,
him.
we'll nominate Joe Calagione.
Second.
Okay, are there any other nominations? All right, so I'll take a motion for election, or appointment, please. Who wants to move?
Oh, so moved?
So moved.
Moved and second. I got a motion from Chris. Second from Martha. All in favor, roll call. Mainini?
Aye, you don't have to do the roll call now because of that.
Oh, there's no member online. You're right. So
Oh, yeah.
all in favor?
Aye.
Second.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Nominations for Fair Housing Committee representative?
Yeah, I'm on that.
Any nominations for?
Nominate Babe?
I'll second that.
Any other nominations? All right, I'll take a motion to appoint Mr. Mainini as the Fair Housing Committee representative.
So moved.
Second?
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Did you do both for Joe for the school? No.
I got him for the first one so far.
Yeah, sorry.
Nominations for Open Space Advisory Committee. This committee has not been set up yet, but it's something that may come up in the future.
I nominate Martha White.
I'll second that.
Any other nominations? All right, accept the motion to nominate Ms. White as the Open Space Advisory Committee liaison.
So moved?
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There's a vote. Nominations for School Buildings Committee liaison.
I'll nominate Joe Calagione.
Any other nominations? All right, I'll accept the motion to nominate Mr. Calagione as the School Buildings Committee liaison.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There's a vote. Next order is to authorize the clerk and or town planner to sign correspondence and sign agenda postings. Is there a motion?
Where are you at?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Babe, so
All right.
you can second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There's a vote. Last order is authorize the town planner to sign payroll.
We're doing them all at once?
Call planning board meetings, set public hearings, set planning board agenda, and sign and endorse A&Rs 81Ps.
So moved.
Is there
Second.
a second?
Discussion?
All right. Discussion? Any discussion?
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
So B and C, I think we started it last year. I brought it up, just other boards that I sign on, along with, the town planner, that the chair also have the ability to review when the meetings are called and review the agendas. I just feel it's a good way of checks and balances. Nothing against the new town planner. I brought this up with the old town planner again. It's just other boards that I serve on, that's how we operate. So I just kind of wanted to bring that up, bring it to this board and see if we would be amenable to that.
Certainly.
It's absolutely fine. I can review these with the chair every time I post one. It's just setting the agenda and putting it to the clerk's office at the right time.
If
really all it
the chair would like to do that too.
That's acceptable to me.
So I'm still comfortable with the 81Ps and obviously the payroll. It's just, again, those two items, B and C, the meetings and the agendas. So,
Okay.
In coordination with the chair. Yeah.
in coordination with the chair, yes.
Okay. In coordination with chair. All right. So amended motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There's a vote. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Okay, what's the pleasure of the board on the meeting minutes from 5/5?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of May
Second.
6th.
Any discussion on that?
One item for discussion. Just want to bring something up that I had to amend. It's right under the secretary motion. The board voted on additional liaisons and authorizations that were not on the agenda, so they were considered invalid. I asked the town council about that.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please?
So you guys ended up trying to do nominations that weren't on the agenda?
Oh, yes.
I tried to put them, I didn't want Liz to have to do them in my absence, so I put them to this meeting, so they're considered invalid, so they're
Okay.
on this agenda. That's the only note that technically wasn't in the minutes. Just want to bring that to your attention.
Do you think it should be added to the minute?
Yes.
Do you want to send us a revised version?
It's already in there. It's right under the secretary line. It's in parentheses.
Oh, I
Just
see.
wanted to bring it to
Okay.
attention.
Okay, very good.
That's all.
Okay,
You just need a vote.
do we have a motion?
Yeah, and seconded, I believe.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. As far as 81Ps, we have none. Third on the agenda, we've got the amendment to site plan application. It was continued from 421, 31 Beaver Street, Slick City Propane Storage.
Just so the board's aware, Rich Gordon from Bay State, who is the applicant, is on Zoom.
Okay. So is there, has there been any update status on the safety issue that was discussed?
Hi, Rich. Did you want to make some sort of presentation, or you want me to just kind of review what has transpired since the last time and see if the board has questions?
Yeah, that's fine. Why don't you give an overview and I can chime in as needed?
So I sent out an email to basically all the parties, including the structural engineer that was on the building permit. And he met on the structural engineer, myself, Rich, and a few other people from Bay State were on site to take a look at the walls. The structural engineer, well, the first thing is the plans in front of you are revised. They primarily are revised to show the locations that are the locations of the walls on the approved plans for the site. The previous structural design for the walls, it's not a huge difference, but there was a difference.
Just to be clear, so they had the wrong set of plans when they installed the wall?
Yes. It wasn't a substantial change. There was one wall that was eliminated. There was another wall that was, the alignment was altered slightly. And then the one that was, I guess, the most significantly different hasn't been built yet. So,
Even so.
yes. So, these need to be submitted to the building department. They were just submitted today. They need to be submitted to the building department so that these are the drawings of record for the building permit for the wall. In the meantime, they have been working diligently to try and make it safer there, to fix the wall where they can, to take it apart in areas where it needs to get rebuilt. I went out there yesterday, and there's shims in the wall. So they left, in areas, they left the bottom 2 rows of block, which are apparently not level, and shimmed in between level 2 and level 3, so that level 3 is straight.
It's level.
is level. The,
1 and 2 are not.
correct. The structural engineer referenced this in his letter, and he hasn't been out to the site since they did this to try and decide if, you know, that's something he feels comfortable working with or how. So the exact fix is still a little bit up in the air. But I definitely feel a lot more comfortable that they're working to try and get this correct. The structural engineer is, you know, now that he's completed the design, he'll be able to go out and inspect the site. I'm gonna require photographs and reports from him. I will also be visiting periodically.
No doubt.
One of the things that was, my very first question really was, why did the wall fall down? Because I know as we discussed here, there was a concern about the base of the wall not being on a proper, foundation's a little bit of an odd word because it's not really like a concrete foundation, it's like a stone foundation, but the structural engineer didn't feel like that was an issue. He believes that the sort of a combination of the backfill material against the walls was siltier than it should have been.
Silkier.
Silt.
Siltier, that makes much better sense, thank you.
It does get silky when it's silty, though. It was siltier than it was supposed to be, and siltier material retains water, which then allows for movement of the material and additional pressures on the wall. Plus, they had large equipment. There were snow piles. All of these things together led to the wall, in particular on the right side as you go in, failing. That side didn't fail as badly as the left side, where it was with all those same things were then coupled with the installation of a hydrant, and the operator of the machine that was working there wasn't taking proper caution, and that was a big part of why that side fell down and was in worse condition. So structural engineer feels relatively confident that that it can be rebuilt from the bottom, that they have taken off the blocks, and like I said, I was out there, they have taken off on the left side as you go in, they had taken it down to, I think, possibly the very first level, and where it needed to. Some of the ones closer to the road, the third and fourth rows were in fine condition, so those have remained thus far. So it's just going to be a work in progress, but I feel, like I said, much better about us trying to make some progress now.
Progress is a good thing.
Mr. Chairman,
Please.
I don't feel comfortable. First of all, I haven't seen it, but where she said that the walls weren't level. The only way to do that right, as far as I'm concerned, is to take it down from the bottom, start over again, make it level, and make it right. Shims don't belong in those walls. Those walls aren't designed to have shims in them. They're designed to have a good base, a good course of 3/4 inch stone, level, and they set level, and they build a wall after, and the wall does a good job. This blaming the operator for doing it Well, there's two walls, one on each side. Is there a fire hydrant on each side that they hit? It just, I don't think it was put up right in the beginning, and I think it should be started over, in my opinion. Again, I don't have any clout in this matter, but I just want my opinion to be known. This is what I think, and I think it's totally wrong. It should start from the beginning, start with the footing again, with the riprap, crushed stone, so it's sturdy and will hold the wall, and then go from there and build it correctly. That's my opinion, but again, I'm not an engineer. I'm just a guy who built walls.
I will say that I think it's reasonable for the board to not, I think it's very reasonable for the board not to approve the amended site plan until after the structural engineer has reviewed these shims in the wall to determine whether or not this is something that he can move forward with or not. Because right now, this is just, it's just a maybe this will work, maybe it won't. And
Right.
so I think getting a little bit further information or guarantee from the structural engineer would make sense. There is sort of a fine line, because if the structural engineer is willing to sign off on the construction of it, there's not really a lot that this board can do. But certainly, putting it on the record makes sense.
Anybody else?
Yes, please. Yeah, babe, couldn't agree with you more. Obviously, just listening to you, Liz, town engineer-wise, you're not comfortable, right? And you are a civil engineer. I guess where we started and where we're going to, how many original walls did we originally start with? And how many, and then how many walls are we going, I'll read through my questions and then come back to them then. How many original walls? How many failed of those original walls? What was the method of failure, the mode of failure? Describe through what are the changes from what failed to what's going to be new, and make me comfortable. I know a lot of this will deal with the civil engineer or structural engineer. And then obviously, just reading through this letter as we just got it, and just what's in this memorandum, and then how things are going to change through. So, like you said, and going back right just from the get-go, just couldn't agree with Babe more that the foundation is just that. It's the foundation. It's the building blocks of this wall structure. And if it's already failed, I don't have a lot of confidence right now, unless the contractor goes straight down to the base, that the base layer is inspected, and that part of it is signed off, and then they can be allowed to build forward from there, in my eyes.
Martha?
Just looking at the minutes of our last meeting, Joe Calagione had reiterated a request to the applicant. Excuse me, I'll read it instead of trying to summarize it. It's only one sentence. Mr. Calagione reiterated the request to the applicant was for a geotechnical engineer report for a repair procedure for the walls, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Is the structural guy
Well, so in this
different.
particular case, it should be in my professional opinion, it should be a structural, not a geotechnical. If, I know there's discussion about possibly eliminating one of the walls that they haven't started constructing yet, and replacing it with a riprap slope. If they do propose that, then that's the appropriate application for a geotechnical engineer. But the wall itself is a structural engineer's domain. There's a certain amount of geotechnical work in it because it's sitting on the foundation, but nonetheless, I feel as though the structural engineer is the correct person to be looking at it.
May I continue, Mr. Chair?
Yes, please.
It feels like, I'm sorry, I don't recall any specifics at all, but it feels like we've been going around with this one quite a lot. Do you feel like they're responding properly to what we're asking for in a timely manner? And
They are now.
okay, thank you.
When is now?
As when I sent out the email and to all of, including as the board requested, I included Mark Nelson on there, and Mark responded to all of us, including the applicant, and said that he would not be approving the fire departments or he must make a recommendation to the select board. Both permits are required before the propane goes in. And he was not going to move forward on that until he heard further from me or the board.
Yeah, I guess I'm speaking to the applicant's representative. You know, what the board asks for, we need to be receiving as requested in a timely manner. This is not obviously going to get acted upon tonight either. Wasting time.
Well, if it's okay, I'd like to chime in.
Please, go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, so first of all, Liz, that was a very fair synopsis of what's happened. I appreciate that, and I certainly understand the board's concerns. We know that we have an issue out there. You know, I own the building, and I am the owner of Bay State Engineering. You know, we built the wall. You know, we are, it's very upsetting what happened out there, and I understand the concern, and again, I appreciate that. To dive in a little bit, the right-hand side wall is primarily good and stable, and there's just one area where we have used some shims to just correct the top course a little bit because it wasn't really, you know, all that much out of whack, and everywhere else we do have a good base, and we have good solid wall coming all the way up. The engineer has been out there, as Liz has said, and evaluated that. And as far as this one area where we have some shims, just to level it up some for the capstone, we understand we are at the engineer's discretion on that. And so we had suggested it when we were out there with Richard Bushnell, if we give that a try. He said, okay, give it a try, but you know, he has the last say. He has to sign an affidavit. We 100% will adhere to whatever he says. We are certainly not trying to cut corners. We're just trying to correct the situation, make it safe, and get it done expeditiously. I think that, you know, we'd welcome any of you to come and visit on site if you wanted to see it up close, and you would see what I'm talking about. And we really don't feel, and I think that Liz has said that we have a safety issue on that right-hand side of the driveway anymore. And again, of course, he has to sign off on it. He has pictures and documentation. And we have employed him to do weekly visits now. And he's out there the other day with us and Liz. And we've kind of formulated a plan going forward, and I think that he summarized it in his letter pretty well. You know, the bigger failure out there, in my opinion, is that left-hand side wall. And, you know, it was a combination of some conditions, but ultimately we had an operator when we were installing the water line and around the area of the hydrant. They were putting in some inferior fill, not to my knowledge, on a couple days when I wasn't there. And worst part was he was running the machine right up against that wall and basically pushed out the block. And it created sort of a wiggle in that wall. It pushed over a section. I didn't like what I saw, so we took it all down. And as Liz has said, just at the very beginning on the left-hand road, there's just one small piece at the wetland crossing, and that's in perfect condition. So we didn't touch that, but we've taken everything else down. We have no intention of putting a single block back on the reconstructed area, the full wall, which is the larger of the walls. It's a very big wall. It's a big undertaking. At this time, we've just been working on cleanup. We've been cleaning up against the silt fence, pulling all that material back, prepping the base, installed with the proper base course, in lifts, compacted. And we are, of course, awaiting the board approval to proceed with the permit to build the wall. And of course, I understand propane and electric transformer and things of that nature. You're holding back on approvals for that until you see this wall was reconstructed properly. I honestly couldn't agree more. I'm on board. We are willing and able. We have the proper manpower out there. It did sit a little too long, but we were waiting for, apparently we found out after the fact that we didn't have the proper permit for the building of this wall, which I think fell through the cracks, maybe a little bit on all of us, that it wasn't connected with the building permit. So there was kind of a series of some snafus out there, but as far as the failure, you know, the bigger failure on that left-hand wall, it was operator error, and I can tell you that there was a guy who lost his job over it. It's, you know, really embarrassing and horrible, and we've got to do it right. We've got to fix it right, and I am working with the engineer, Richard Bushnell. That's all he does is wall design. Very well versed with many, many years of experience. He will be witnessing every bit of it, and he will have site visits. He will be putting reports together. This thing will be more than by the book. So that's the goal. I own the building. I plan on owning it forever. I don't want to ever have a problem like this or anything, you know, associated with it ever again. So again, I appreciate your time and letting me come in front of you and kind of say my piece, and hopefully give you some reassurances that this thing is going to be done right. It's going to be safe, and it's going to be permanent. And, you know, lastly, again, as I've mentioned, we would not proceed with anything else further or try to get any type of sign off without my engineer's affidavit. So that's basically our plan. For right now, next couple days, we're going to just continue prepping the base. We have not laid any blocks. Liz mentioned that as well. We're just trying to get the base set and clean up along the wetland line, proceed with going down around that corner. We're going to prep all that slope. There is a slope, a one-to-one slope in that area. I'm getting a little bit off topic, but you mentioned it, figured I'd address it. We are going to employ a geotechnical engineer to give us some verification and backup on slope stabilization area, so that we'll have that documented and signed off properly, which according to Jim Sullivan and Guerrero and Hanlon, who I spoke with today, that is something they would be looking for. So we're already in motion on that. And then Liz, you had mentioned the other wall that goes around that corner. We were going to try to use riprap. We felt that maybe the slope would be adequate to riprap that and eliminate that wall. After talking with Guerrero and Hanlon today, it looks like we can reduce the size of that wall some. It was a little overbuilt. So we're going to have a redesign on that one wall, which we wouldn't do until we get our engineer drawings into you. But it's just basically a revision of what was there, but it's smaller. So that's kind of the summary of where we're at and where we're going. And I just request that we find a way forward here so that we can keep going and get this thing done and built as soon as possible. We really don't want to stop. I have the right crew out there. We've got all the right materials. We've got the engineer. We've got everybody. It's really important, I feel, for everybody and for safety and for the building and for everything that we please be able to proceed with construction and get this thing back up and safe and secure the site. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So Chris, just so that, to answer your question about the number of walls and which,
Yeah.
so there are 4 walls shown on the plan here.
Right.
On the right-hand side, as you go in, the kind of U-shaped wall
Yes.
is one wall.
Right-hand side, wall 4.
Yeah.
Left-hand side,
Yes,
wall 3.
4.
Which sheet are you on?
And the
This guy right
one
here.
of 3.
Top one, right there,
In a
Martha.
light blue,
The
it's,
top one that you have? Yep.
in a light blue, you can see it says proposed face of wall number 4. Kind of on the right-hand side. up-
This is your entrance. Sorry, this is your entrance in, coming off of the street. So wall 3 is on the south side of the entrance, wall 4 is on the north side of the entrance, wall 5 is to the west of that.
Yeah, that
And
one,
then-
the smaller one.
This is wall 1.
Yeah.
Blue,
It's a-
there's some blueprint.
Yeah.
Blue.
The vicinity sketch.
So wall
yeah.
4 is this U one.
Okay,
Wall 5 is this longer one.
okay.
This is wall 3.
Jiminy crickets.
This is wall 2. This is the one that has not been constructed. Wall
Yeah.
2 has not been constructed, and they're looking at making a revision. And wall 1 was eliminated based on the reconfiguration of
Thank you.
the building and parking lot when it went from a manufacturing warehouse to the current use.
So where was Wall 1 first proposed, and that's what's going to be riprap,
No, wall 1 was eliminated
just altogether?
altogether. So when the original plan was submitted to the board, it was for a warehouse, I think. So the building itself was shaped differently, and it required different parking.
Okay.
So when they changed it to this use, the configuration of the site changed and no longer required that wall.
Okay.
Wall 2 is the one that they're apparently now not looking to eliminate, but are looking to alter.
Okay.
Okay.
But that was not constructed as of yet. There's a slope all the way across there.
So at the risk of jumping the gun, I guess I'm speaking both to Matt and Liz, when might we continue this to? I mean, I don't want to keep seeing this every time and just pushing
Yeah, I
the
mean,
cart down the road.
I think, Rich, do you expect that, that Richard will be able to have a decision, I guess, on whether or not the shimming is something that he's comfortable with? Because I think if that's part of the repair plan, that is what I think this board wants to see.
And we have at
So
least one
he's
member
gonna
who's
be
not
coming
happy
out-
about it. Excuse me.
I'm not sure what day he's coming back out to look at that. I'm trying to get him out before the end of the week. So as far as the shimming, and again, where it's only in that one area, I guess I would ask the board if we could just leave that as a contingency for the moment, as far as what he recommends or approves for the repair on that specific spot. But if there is a way that we could at least continue construction of the main big wall so that we can keep that going for all the reasons I previously stated, I think that really would be the best path forward. And I understand that we can leave the shimmed area out for another discussion. He's going to come back to us with either some protocol on how to handle that would be acceptable to him, or he's going to say those in that area, just take those blocks right off. We didn't take them off in that one area because the grid and the stone were all set and it's near the transformer pad, and we just didn't want to just jump right into pulling blocks in that one section. But again, if there's, some way that we could just keep going with the bulk rebuild based on those
I know that.
contingencies, that would be acceptable
Yeah, the
to me
board,
anyway.
the board is not trying to stop you from moving forward on, actually, they don't have the ability to stop you from moving forward on the
Okay.
walls. So it's just that before they will, and don't,
So far, so good.
my recommendation to the board would be that you don't approve the amendment for the propane until you have an answer on the shimmed part of the wall and the revision here. But certainly, any portion of the wall that's not shimmed, you can, they want to see it put together and put back together as safely and quickly as possible.
Okay, no, that's fair. I can totally understand that, and that keeps us going. So I would say we would be prepared to address that at whatever your very next meeting would be, because I'm sure I can get him out there within the next several days, if not very first of next week. So we would be prepared with him on board with the recommendation, and by then we could even have whatever he recommends for repair to be done, so he could sign off on it. I'm not sure how often you guys meet, so I guess the next meeting, even if it's a couple weeks, that would be fine.
Yep.
Yeah, they meet every 2 weeks. Well, they meet
If
twice a
that's
month.
yeah, if that's okay with you guys, I'd be good with that.
It would be June 2nd.
Second.
Okay.
I would, again, it's not our preview, but if you're going, the structural engineer visiting weekly or something is not heartwarming. He should have him or a representative should be there when the foundation goes in, to see that the foundation's done right. It's the most important part of the whole wall. And they should be there watching the excavation to make sure the material below it is satisfactory and the foundation itself is put in satisfactory. That's my opinion.
So,
And-
yeah, I think the approach here is that they are, and this is why they've been working on it, even though the structural engineer hasn't been out there, they've been taking apart the upper layers down to what, and there was discussion with the structural engineer, but they're not going to start rebuilding anything until the structural engineer approves the base.
Yeah, but I'm also sorry, he wants to go along with the long wall, which again, I agree with him 100%, we shouldn't hold him up, but when we're doing that, I want to make sure, I feel that we should.
Which wall? The one on the left?
The one he says they want to start constructing.
Can we call them 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah,
Well-
it's wall 3.
Okay.
The wall 3 is the one that they've removed a lot of the blocks,
Okay.
not the whole length, but they're not going to start rebuilding until after he sees the base.
Is there a wall that hasn't been built yet?
The wall that hasn't, oh, okay. So when you build, you're saying wall 2,
Yes.
when you go to construct wall 2, he's requesting that you have the structural engineer or a representative on site during the construction of the foundation piece.
If they're building it.
Yes, if I wasn't clear on that, that is absolutely what our plan is. We're not putting any block on the base course that we're prepping right now until he comes out and approves the base course.
Yeah, he's,
If I wasn't clear on that, I apologize.
No,
That
you-
is the plan.
yes, but in regards to wall number 2, which is the one that has not begun to be constructed yet, that's the one over by the wetland replication area?
Yes, he'll have to witness the bottom of that as well, yes.
That was his request.
Okay.
Yes, no, I understand, Mr. Menini. That's fine, and that is our plan. We will have a base inspection, bottom crushed stone inspection, compacted, that he will see and witness and sign off on before we put any block on it. That is the plan.
I'm satisfied.
Go ahead, Chris.
So there was also some problems with the fill, right? And there was, which walls had,
So let me address the fill. So
Yep.
as far as fill goes, there was, I'm sorry if I was interrupting.
No, please go ahead.
As far as the fill goes, everything is being excavated out on all the walls being rebuilt going forward. And every bit of material coming back in is all brand new processed gravel and crushed stone.
Okay.
Nothing's being reused. We're not taking any chances with it.
Yeah, which they can't, they have to remove it because in
well-
order to put in the geogrid, they need to remove what's there. And
wanted to make
the
sure.
structural engineer, I believe, has even requested sieve analysis of the material being brought in.
so, and my other
Correct.
question,
Yep.
kind of to go back, so wall 3 failed, wall 4 is okay. Wall 3,
Wall 3 failed significantly.
Yep.
Wall 4 had some, I don't know, whether or not it failed is something that
Okay.
the structural engineer would have
so
to,
wall 3 and wall 4 are constructed of the same materials.
yes.
Are we changing the materials of wall 3 because of the structural failure.
Yes.
So why is wall 4 need to change? Because if wall 3 failed, and wall 4 is made of the same materials as wall 3, what is to prevent wall 4 from failing?
So, and
That's not accurate. There was new gravel and new stone on all the walls everywhere. The reason why we're saying that we had some silty material in and around it was because we unfortunately had a stockpile of the excavated material from on site very close to that wall, along with a mountain of snow that got stockpiled on that area, and that's where we had the trouble. No, we've already shown the engineer, and we've dug some pits, and also along with the fact that he witnessed the wall being built before, we have shown that we have new imported processed gravel everywhere. We did not use inferior materials. That's not why it failed.
Strictly overburden and
that doesn't even make sense. And the wall number 4, part of the reason, and this is, I am not a structural engineer, but as a civil engineer, my thought is that part of the reason that wall 4 stayed up better than wall 3 was there's an electrical duct bank on the wall 4 side of the driveway. And that, the geogrid under the duct bank was probably better situated.
Yep.
Just because it had the electrical duct bank in it.
That's correct, Liz.
I don't recall, and I'm not going to say one way or the other, but I don't recall there being pavement removed on the wall 4 side as you went in, so I don't know that I would agree that the material was removed. It may have been,
And here's, we're going to go down the road of too much detail. It's in the sense that I know it's out of our purview. I think, as we had discussed, to move forward is to making sure the other aspects of the site plan that we did approve are being done appropriately before we can even move ahead with any site plan amendments. And I think that, to me, is having a certified letter from a structural engineer or the geotechnical engineers before we can even move forward, and that is of my opinion.
which is required, honestly, no matter what.
So,
Please.
So it sounds like snow storage was a contributing factor to the wall failure. Where's snow storage going to be?
Snow storage is going to be on the opposite end of the site in the future.
Is it designated on the site plan? We used to do that. Do we still do that?
yes, we do.
We, sometimes, not always.
Well, I'd like to see it on this one.
There's going to be a guardrail and landscaping along the wall side.
Yeah, I think it's, this is going to be coming back in front of the Conservation Commission.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I was thinking we don't want the snow in the
The
wetlands.
Conservation Commission has become, has started to put in signs, and I think we had some on this, but it was over by, not by the entrance. But we certainly can add some no snow storage signs along the wall.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable thing for me to bring to the Conservation Commission and ask them to add. If not, I mean, you guys certainly can ask for it as well.
Back in my day,
Back in
back in a couple centuries ago, we used to designate it on the plans,
Yeah,
snow storage area. I'd like to see it on this one.
We can do that.
Yeah, there, it might.
I think your signage
it might-
idea is also important on site for the guys actually doing the plowing.
Exactly. Not that they're likely to pay attention to it, but.
It'll be covered with snow, how will they know?
A little bit. I do believe we had some sort of snow storage area on this one, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
Well, I'll double check, and if there isn't, then certainly they can add it.
Thank you, thank you.
Kind of beat this up as much. I make a motion that we continue it till, what's the next meeting, Matt?
June 2nd.
June 2nd?
Yes.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Have a vote?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
Okay.
You continue to June 2nd?
June 2.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you, appreciate your time. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good call.
Okay,
Kind of been round and round on it.
next order of business is the ZVA referral to Mason Drive. I'm going to recuse myself on this one.
I'm also recusing myself.
So given we have 2 recusals on this, we do not have a quorum.
Correct.
So we have to table this to our next agenda.
Correct.
Sorry, is anyone here for 2 Mason Drive? Okay. Sorry, folks, we're going to have to take this one at the next meeting because we only have 2 members and we need 3 for a quorum. It'll be June 2nd. Yes. And so it's just the planning board making a recommendation to the zoning board. The zoning board is the actual public hearing for the matter, and that is held second Thursday of June?
Second Thursday of June.
Okay.
So,
So would that be a month later or the next week after yours?
It'll be the week.
the week
it'll
after.
be the week after.
Yes.
I believe.
Probably the,
So do you recommend we not attend the next planning?
it's completely up to you. It's just, it's not an open public discussion. So the chairman doesn't have to call on the public for comments if he doesn't want to, because we're just going to make a simple recommendation whether or not they should do it or not. That's it.
Thank you very much.
I want to, to the point that I'm recusing myself because my brother lives,
Is a
Right there.
direct abutter.
Right.
so.
Good call. Sorry, folks.
Big time. Sorry.
That's too bad.
Ready to go. That's fine. I'm sorry. Stupid.
Okay, next order of business, we have the waiver of a site plan application, 20 Main Street.
20 Main. Yeah, this one's in.
There we go.
All right. So, Mr. Chairman, may, we have here, this is a waiver, sorry, requested, I put amendment in the letter, it should be a waiver of site plan review for change of use from a mini mart to an office on property located at 20 Main Street. I've also printed these out, if you want to take one and pass it down. Proposed office use is allowed in the CB district, subject to site plan review. So at first glance, I consider this a home occupation because of the bylaws, as the owner intends to use the space for his own business. However, parking requirements for a home occupation are for not more than 2 spaces must be provided in the front yard. The plan shows 2 spaces, however, they no longer exist because as you see in the photo, there's a handicap ramp or an ADA compliant ramp in the front, so those spaces no longer exist. So the area of the proposed office is 300 square feet. Parking requirement is 4 spaces per 1,000 square feet. So I'm going to say it needs 2 spaces because it's 300. So they could be in the rear in this case since it's not a home occupation. They could be in the rear. There are 3 residential units totaling 6 spaces, so the property would need 8 spaces. You look at the GIS map, it looks like there's a large shared parking area and with both neighbors. This plan doesn't show any striping of any kind. So therefore, unless the applicant can demonstrate sufficient parking is provided in the rear, if they can, then great. If not, I'd recommend unfavorable and ask them to submit an amended site plan. So that's where we're at with this. if the board wants to consider this a home occupation, but there's no parking in the front, if they think they could squeeze one space out of that, then I don't think so. It'd be blocking the ramp, so
Correct.
it'd be on the sidewalk for the most part.
Okay.
But it being treated as a change of use, it allows them to put the 2 spaces in the back, so it actually helps. So, you guys
So
see if the members have other questions?
Go ahead,
my
Chris.
first question is, obviously, this existing plot plan that is stamped doesn't show the ramp out front
Right.
or the stairway. So
Yeah,
I
this
think,
was approved in 2003.
right, so that needs to probably be updated at a minimum.
Right, so they're asking for a waiver, so that's part of the request, to
Yeah.
submit the original plan.
Yeah, because then it is showing the 2 spaces, which obviously is, it's changed, right? So we've got to keep up with the changes to this, so, yeah. And then out back, so basically the rear section, there's really no designation on where the parking is overall. I didn't get a chance to go by the site itself out back, but based on what I'm seeing here from aerial, I don't know if there's any difference in what I'm seeing again on the existing plot plan. Even though it is dated, there is nothing that is showing for parking spaces. So we've got to get some stuff updated here, in my opinion.
The rest of the board? Any other questions? Okay. Would you like to, go ahead.
So I guess quickly, as far as change of use, I'm okay with that part of it, you know, changing from the mini mart to an office, right? That part of it. Like, I have no issues there. I think it's just the site itself needs to come up to what it is shown in actual. So,
Yeah.
so that, from that standpoint. that's it.
As far as like representing the amount of parking spots, because I know we could definitely get to well above 8. How do we do so? I guess in this case,
Get your name for the record?
Kevin Ribeiro, Ribeiro.
And your relationship to the,
He's my father.
got you, son. Got you. So you guys are at 20 Main.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the plan and the change of use, or what's going on?
Well, so it used to be a mini mart.
Yeah.
Owner of the mini mart decided to close down, and I work from home, and we have a business that we run together separately as well. So we kind of wanted to just condense everything into one space and kind of leave work at work and then home at home. So as far as that, that's really the intention. And then I guess from the concerns that Chris has made, I guess I just want to know how we can go about doing so to show parking spaces or update any site plans. How do we specifically go about doing so we can do so properly?
Question for you. Right?
Yeah, so I reach out to this engineer, if he's still in business or not. It's hard to say. I don't even know what company, P and Associates, Framingham. I don't know if they're still in business. This is 23 years ago.
Yeah.
So if they still have the data, they can use that and create parking spaces in the back. So we need to see is 8 spaces in the back.
Spaces, okay.
8 and the ability for a emergency vehicle to get back there, if they even need that. The fire department didn't say anything about that.
And all paved.
Right.
All paved.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
parking has to be all paved.
Yeah, it's going to be a Liz question when she comes back in, just to ensure on that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because we're talking about,
The impervious, it's partially paved.
Right.
Yeah, whether, you know, whether that's just going to be through, the layout, is that a land surveyor or is that a full engineer? I'm not sure, but, or if you get all in one, but you are going to have to reach out to that type of business to be able to lay out the parking spots appropriately.
So like a
Yeah.
surveyor of some sort?
Correct, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
so,
I believe there's a question.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So any other questions?
Yeah, so 20 Main Street, the back parking area. It's partially paved. We've just said that it would, in order to move this forward, definitely need to designate the 8 parking spaces that would be required. Also, the front porch, 2 porches are not designated on the current plans, so that should also be included because it does show 2 parking spaces up front. So told the applicant that that's really what we would be looking for. There's a question now on whether that area, what sort of upgrades you feel may be necessary.
This is
Back
an
pavement.
application for site waiver of site
Waiver,
plan.
Yeah, so we're talking about amendments, so chances are,
Yeah, I would say my recommendation is that you don't approve the waiver of site plan review if there are these items that need to be addressed. And certainly showing the parking spaces that are required for the, not only parking spaces, but ADA parking spaces. So grading, that, although, are you making changes to the building?
Itself, no. Or the space itself, it would just be clearing out what's there and then throwing some desks, chairs, and,
So just internal,
yeah.
interior, excuse
Yeah,
me.
so then, so whether or not you have to fully comply with the new, with handicap accessibility and all that, obviously it doesn't make sense to fully require that outside the building if it's not part of what's being when they have to bring the building up to code if they're spending a certain amount of money. It sounds like they're probably not having to bring the building up to code. So it's a judgment call on the board's behalf. And certainly when we have a plan, it's something I can look at and make a recommendation to you on.
And again, with the problems with the parking area, I definitely would not vote for a waiver. I definitely have to go for a amended site plan. As far as the handicap accessibility, that's the building inspector that makes the calls on all that. So.
Yeah, and that's something that I typically would discuss with him.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
I make a motion that we not grant the waiver of site plan review.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion?
I'd like to make sure these gentlemen know what it would mean if we pass the motion that's on the floor. Do you understand if we don't grant you the waiver, the
Basically,
steps
we,
you'd have to take instead?
No,
Yeah.
we're against.
yeah, I get it. So basically, we just have to hire out a surveyor or reach out to them.
Engineer, yeah.
And then bring that documentation in
Okay.
and prove that we can comply.
yes.
Yeah, that was-
Yeah, they have a lot of what you need already
Yeah.
on here. It's just that you need to
The additional. that's needed.
supplement it, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was worth a shot.
Absolutely. Prior to, I didn't realize about the parking, but we had discussed this, and I thought it was a good candidate for, no, I thought it was a good candidate for the waiver of site plan review, but I didn't realize there were issues with the parking.
Okay. All right, so we have a vote? All in favor?
Here's a
All right.
note we got from the fire department. Just right circled there.
And then, is that site plan online?
Yes. All right.
Okay, did you want a copy?
All right.
If you don't mind.
Not at all.
Thank you.
Is that the one you want?
Yeah, that's the plan that they give us.
You all set?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you.
For your time. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Have a good night.
Sorry for the wait.
No worries.
There's the
Okay,
Board, so in a case like this, where they're going to come back with an amended plan, does the board entertain waivers of application fees in cases like this? I'm just curious.
Did it cost them,
Yeah, it was $200.
which is the same as this? Yeah, I would absolutely, my recommendation would be
Yeah.
to waive it. I think that's an excellent point, Matt.
The waiver application fee and the amendment application fee are the same?
That's a good
Or can we just say knock 200 off?
They are the same because
they are.
they were always the same thing when Larry was here.
Sure.
The waiver and the amended.
So say they apply within a year, waive the fee for the amended application, something like that?
I would say, yeah, bring it,
So moved?
I would just say bring it to our attention when they come back,
Yeah.
and we can make that part of the motion, or a separate line item within it. Just because it's not, the only thing I would suggest is not voting on it now, just because it's not part of the agenda.
No,
Good
but
call.
let Matt know, that
Yeah.
at least Matt knows that
That
he
the
doesn't
board,
do it, then
Yeah.
we can bring it up when they
Yeah.
come with the.
Right, I would say bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it-
This way, they're going to submit the check with the application. What, do we just hold on to it?
Okay, I was going to say, because the
Okay.
check is required as
Okay.
part of the application. Yeah,
Okay.
just hold it.
Okay, all right. All right, fair.
okay. Moving on. Anything on the planning board rules and regulations?
I did have some zoning bylaw amendments that I was working on. I was adding some new uses to our use table, including a fitness center, which is one that we don't have. I have on my computer. I'll bring them to our next meeting. I was working on a few things.
I would, on the zoning bylaws, I would like to put a zoning, get a zoning bylaw in to turn the CB district back to residential and commercial like it was before. They changed it, and I thought it was the most ridiculous thing that we ever did.
CB
You
being
get up and
downtown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's all the way down East Main Street and all that.
Oh, I got up and spoke
You got
against
up
it.
and
That was
spoke
the
against it.
craziest thing I've ever seen.
Right, and it shouldn't have been done. In this crisis, we have a crisis of residential
Yeah,
spots, and we're knocking them off. It was crazy.
I am 100% behind you.
And I think we should go back to,
Beside you.
CB was residential and commercial.
Yep.
As long as I could, since 1964, when they did the original zoning bylaw.
Here and here.
Yes, please.
Sounds good.
wouldn't that have just made a whole bunch of houses non-conforming?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's helpful.
I wish I'd been better, after I spoke at town meeting, I regretted not having been better prepared. I was the opposite of eloquent, and yet apparently that was clear because town meeting did not take my suggestions. But if I remember right, Reno spoke against that as well, didn't he? There was something that he got up and spoke on in agreement with me.
Obviously, I wasn't here, but I'm assuming this was probably an economic development initiative that came forward with the community development manager.
I have no
I
idea
I
where
do
it came
not
from.
know the background of it at all, but,
All right, so let's put that on for discussion.
yeah, please. Thank you, babe. I would not have thought of that, but thank you.
Joe Cal would probably know where that came from, though.
Yeah, I bet
I
he
don't
would.
know, yeah, it could be.
What was the driving force behind that?
It might be worthwhile just asking Joe Cal to see if he has some.
Okay.
Anyone know roughly when that happened?
Well, gee, 10?
2 years ago?
Oh, no, more than that, because I was a town meeting member.
Okay.
And that was so far ago, I barely remember. I'd say at least 6,
60
8.
years old?
Oh, it was-
60?
It was definitely not 2 years ago.
Oh,
'cause
I got it
was-
right here. RA to CB, October 2018.
2018.
Close, babe.
Did I say,
It was about 2 years ago.
I think I jumped at 6.
You said 10.
Sorry.
And that
I
was, you
said
were
10,
the
but then I
opened it
think I
right to
just
the
said
page.
6.
That was
I just
amazing.
Good, yeah.
found a number out of the air.
10 was still close enough.
It was on your side.
It's a long time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one
Any others,
rubbed me
Chris?
wrong.
No, nothing on
Okay.
that right now.
Thank you.
Town planner updates?
On the rules and regs, nothing from council. We just finished town meeting. Hopefully, I'll get something from them soon. As far as town planner updates, could talk about town meeting. I obviously wasn't there, but I'll wait for you guys to do that. So I don't have any updates. No.
Okay. Town engineer?
I don't have anything that I can think of, unless anybody has any questions.
The only update I have is, I just want to say that Chris did a wonderful job representing us at town meeting, and very successful in presenting the article, and it was approved unanimously.
Thank you, Chris.
Any member updates?
Just to go on with that, yes.
Welcome back, babe.
Yeah, welcome back.
Good to see you in person.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Glad to see you.
And those that, just to recall, that was the Mullen Rule article. So again, that one just allows a member to miss a meeting and be able to partake in any follow-up meetings, which is good. So appreciate that going through.
The other ones that we passed over because, are we gonna?
Yeah, we gotta do it all again in the fall.
Yeah, no, I just, are you gonna put it on, do you guys wanna see it right away? Do you wanna wait until later?
There's certain timelines that I have to adhere to, so it has to be closer to town meeting.
Really?
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, our public hearing has to be within 65 days of town meeting.
Yeah.
Interesting, I didn't know that.
So hold that
All kinds
thought.
of them.
It's his job.
Good idea, but rules are rules.
Pleasure of the board.
So that's the same.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you very much,
Adjourn, gentlemen.
and we'll see you at the June 2nd. Will be our next meeting.